In 1965, £1 had a significantly higher purchasing power than it does today. This difference is primarily due to lower inflation rates in 1965. Economic conditions in 1965 also contributed to the increased value of £1. The script will explore what £1 could buy in 1965 compared to its present-day equivalent. This comparison highlights the impact of inflation and economic changes over time. £1 could purchase a significant quantity of groceries. These groceries included staples like bread. Milk was also a readily affordable item. Eggs were another component of this affordable grocery selection. This amount was sufficient to feed a small family for an entire day. Historically, a pound was a significant unit of currency. It could afford a relatively high-value food item, meat. Specifically, a pound could purchase a decent cut of meat. This included options like a pound of steak. Alternatively, it could buy several pounds of chicken. Meat was considered a relative luxury at that time. Confectionery, such as sweets and chocolates, was notably inexpensive. A single pound, £1, could purchase a substantial amount of sweets. This affordability made confectionery readily accessible to children. The low cost allowed for generous quantities of treats. Public transportation systems, like buses and trains, offer affordable commuting options. A small amount of money can cover multiple journeys within a city. This affordability makes daily travel accessible to a wide range of people. Lower transportation costs can significantly ease financial burdens on individuals. Affordable public transport promotes economic activity and social inclusion. Historically, petrol prices were significantly lower than current rates. A sum of £1 could purchase a considerable amount of petrol. This affordability enabled extensive driving distances for a minimal cost. The low cost of petrol made personal transportation more accessible. This contrasts sharply with modern petrol expenses and driving costs. Even a small amount can make a difference in housing expenses. A contribution of £1 can noticeably reduce weekly housing costs. This contribution also applies to monthly rent payments. Small contributions can accumulate to a significant amount over time. Therefore, even a minimal amount helps alleviate housing costs. A pound can contribute to covering utility bills. Utilities include essential services like electricity. Gas is another common utility. A single pound might cover a portion of these bills. The coverage could last for approximately a week. The duration depends on consumption and rates. In the past, cinema tickets were relatively inexpensive. A single pound could cover tickets for multiple people. This made cinema accessible to a wide range of audiences. Families and individuals could enjoy cinematic experiences without significant financial burden. The low cost contributed to the popularity of cinema as a form of entertainment. Leisure activities such as bowling and swimming were accessible due to their affordability. A single pound could cover the entry fees for multiple people. This made recreational pastimes available to a wide range of individuals. The low cost promoted social engagement through shared leisure experiences. Basic clothing items encompass everyday wear, such as socks and underwear. A simple shirt is also considered a basic clothing item. These items are generally inexpensive. The cost for a basic clothing item could be around £1. This price point reflects the affordability of essential apparel. Historically, £1 could purchase a substantial quantity of fabric. This affordability enabled individuals to sew and create their own clothing. The amount of fabric obtainable for £1 was considered a good amount. This facilitated self-sufficiency in clothing production. Sewing skills combined with affordable fabric empowered individuals. This reflects a period where homemade clothing was a viable option. Essential cleaning products were available at affordable prices. These products included items like soap. Detergent was also among the affordable cleaning supplies. Polish was another cleaning item that could be purchased. These cleaning supplies were affordable with £1. A small contribution of £1 can assist in acquiring household goods. This contribution is typically directed towards smaller appliances. These appliances are essential for daily household tasks. These items are distinct from major appliances requiring larger investments. Local phone calls were relatively inexpensive in the past. A single pound, £1, could fund numerous calls. These calls could be made from public phone booths. This affordability made phone communication accessible. Public phone booths served as a common communication point. The low cost facilitated frequent local communication. Historically, sending letters was more affordable. A single pound could cover the postage for numerous letters. This reflects a significant difference in postal rates compared to today. Lower postage costs facilitated more frequent written communication. This affordability supported personal and business correspondence. The cost-effectiveness of postage played a vital role in communication. Basic over-the-counter medicines were generally affordable. A single pound could purchase multiple remedies. This accessibility made healthcare more attainable for the average person. The low cost facilitated self-treatment for common ailments. This affordability contrasts with potentially higher costs today. Healthcare in the UK was primarily provided by the National Health Service, NHS. A nominal fee of £1 could cover minor expenses or contributions related to healthcare services. This small fee helped offset some of the costs associated with doctor visits. It also ensured that patients had some financial stake in their healthcare. The NHS aimed to provide comprehensive healthcare services to all citizens. The £1 fee was a small part of the overall healthcare funding model. Basic school supplies, including notebooks, pens, and pencils, were notably inexpensive. With just £1, one could acquire a complete set of essential school items. This affordability made education more accessible to a broader range of students. Parents could easily equip their children with the necessary tools for learning. The low cost of supplies reduced the financial burden on families. This helped ensure that more students had the resources needed to succeed academically. Children's books and paperbacks were relatively inexpensive. A single pound, £1, could purchase multiple books. This affordability made books accessible to a wider range of families. The low cost encouraged reading among children. Paperbacks provided an economical option for literature. The price point supported the distribution of educational materials. Basic personal care items were available at an affordable price. Toiletries such as toothpaste, soap, and shampoo were included. The cost for these essential items was approximately £1. This indicates a low price point for everyday necessities. Affordability made these items accessible to a wide range of consumers. A basic haircut could be obtained at a local barber. The cost of such a haircut was approximately £1. This price reflects the affordability of personal care services. Local barbers provided essential grooming at a low cost. This service was a common and accessible option for many. Cigarettes were once relatively inexpensive. A single pound could purchase multiple packs. This made tobacco products accessible to a wider population. The low cost contributed to higher rates of consumption. In the past, a pint of beer in a pub was affordable. A single pound, £1, was sufficient to purchase multiple pints. This reflects a time when the cost of beer was relatively low. The affordability made beer a common and accessible beverage. Small hardware items are essential for various home improvement tasks. These items include nails, screws, and basic hand tools. Many of these items can be purchased for a minimal cost. A budget of £1 can often cover the purchase of such hardware. This affordability makes minor repairs and DIY projects accessible. Having these inexpensive items on hand is practical for quick fixes. Small quantities of paint are available for minor home touch-ups. These paints are typically sold in small tins or containers. The cost for a small tin of paint can be approximately £1. This makes it an affordable option for small repairs. It is suitable for covering scratches or blemishes. Small gifts, such as toys and trinkets, were relatively inexpensive. A single pound could purchase multiple items. This affordability made them accessible to a wide range of people. The low cost allowed for the exchange of gifts even on a limited budget. Even a small amount of money, such as £1, can be the starting point for savings. Opening a bank account is a practical way to begin saving. Consistent deposits, no matter how small, can accumulate over time. Starting early and maintaining a savings habit are key to financial growth. Investing involves allocating capital with the expectation of generating future income or profits. Stocks represent ownership shares in a company, entitling the holder to a portion of its assets and earnings. The price of a stock is determined by market forces, reflecting investor sentiment and company performance. A small investment, such as £1, can purchase a share in a smaller company. Alternatively, it can contribute to a larger investment in a more established company. Inflation erodes the purchasing power of currency over time. This means a fixed amount of money buys fewer goods and services in the future. The decline in purchasing power is directly proportional to the inflation rate. As inflation rises, the real value of money decreases. Consumers experience a reduction in their ability to afford the same items. Therefore, inflation diminishes the economic utility of each unit of currency. Purchasing power reflects the quantity of goods or services that can be acquired with a unit of currency. Changes in the price of goods directly impact how much one can buy with a fixed amount of money. The cost of a loaf of bread serves as a tangible example of shifting purchasing power over time. The current price of a loaf illustrates how £1 buys significantly less compared to the past. Public transportation fares have experienced a notable increase. The cost-effectiveness of public transport is diminishing. A single pound now covers a significantly reduced distance or service. This increase impacts affordability for regular commuters. Higher fares may incentivize alternative transportation choices. The cost of cinema tickets has risen significantly in recent years. Leisure activities, in general, have become more expensive. This increase affects consumer spending habits. Families may need to budget more carefully for entertainment. The higher prices can limit access to cultural experiences. Alternatives, like streaming services, are becoming more popular. In contemporary times, the purchasing power of £1 is extremely limited in the housing sector. The contribution of £1 towards covering rent expenses is virtually negligible. Similarly, £1 makes an insignificant impact on the cost of utility bills. This reflects the substantial increase in housing costs and living expenses. Therefore, £1 holds minimal economic value when addressing modern housing-related expenditures. The cost of even basic clothing items exceeds £1 in today's market. This reflects the impact of inflation and increased production costs. Various factors contribute to the pricing of clothing. These factors include raw materials, manufacturing processes, and labor. Consumer demand and brand value also influence the final price. Wage comparison involves analyzing the average earnings in different time periods. In 1965, average wages were significantly lower compared to present times. The cost of living in 1965 was also proportionally lower. Therefore, a direct wage comparison must account for the corresponding cost of living. Price controls are government-mandated regulations setting maximum or minimum prices for specific goods or services. These controls are often implemented to address perceived market failures or to ensure affordability. Price ceilings, a type of price control, set a maximum legal price below the equilibrium price. This intervention aims to make essential goods or services more accessible to consumers. By capping prices, price controls can prevent suppliers from charging excessively high amounts. The intended outcome is to improve affordability, particularly for low-income individuals or during times of economic hardship. The standard of living reflects the level of wealth, comfort, material goods, and necessities available to a certain socio-economic class in a specific geographic area. Societal expectations regarding what constitutes an acceptable standard of living have evolved over time. This evolution is influenced by factors such as technological advancements, economic shifts, and cultural norms. Consequently, the costs associated with maintaining a perceived acceptable standard of living have also changed, impacting household budgets and financial planning. Technological advancements directly influence production costs. New technologies can streamline production processes. Automation reduces labor costs in manufacturing. Improved efficiency lowers material waste and energy consumption. These cost reductions often translate to lower prices for consumers. However, initial investment in technology can be substantial. Global trade significantly influences the prices of goods and services worldwide. Changes in trade policies can lead to fluctuations in market prices. These price changes directly affect the purchasing power of consumers. Economic policies related to trade also play a crucial role. These policies can either enhance or diminish consumers' ability to buy goods. Therefore, global trade and economic policies are key factors in determining market prices and purchasing power. Inflation rates reflect the percentage change in the price index over a specific period. Historical data illustrates how inflation rates have varied across different years. Examining these trends reveals periods of high inflation and periods of relative price stability. High inflation erodes purchasing power, meaning each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. The decline in value is directly proportional to the inflation rate. Central banks and governments closely monitor these rates to implement appropriate monetary and fiscal policies. Exchange rates reflect the value of one currency in terms of another. These rates are crucial for international trade and investment. Understanding exchange rates helps assess the international purchasing power. Exchange rates fluctuate based on various economic factors. Comparing exchange rates reveals the relative strength of currencies. Monitoring exchange rates is essential for businesses and individuals involved in global transactions. Consumer spending habits are significantly influenced by prevailing economic conditions. Economic booms often lead to increased discretionary spending and a focus on non-essential goods. Conversely, economic downturns typically result in reduced spending and a prioritization of essential needs. Consumers may delay large purchases, seek discounts, and reduce overall consumption during recessions. Changes in income levels, employment rates, and inflation directly impact consumer confidence and spending behavior. Understanding these shifts is crucial for businesses to adapt their strategies and meet evolving consumer demands. Government policies significantly influence economic activities through regulations. These policies often directly impact price controls within various industries. Wage regulations are another key area of government intervention in the economy. Minimum wage laws are a common example of government-mandated wage policies. Regulations can also address price fixing and anti-competitive practices. The goal is to ensure fair competition and protect consumers from market exploitation. Market prices are fundamentally influenced by the forces of supply and demand. Supply represents the quantity of a product available to consumers. Demand reflects consumers' desire and ability to purchase a product. The interaction of supply and demand determines the equilibrium price and quantity in a market. The cost of living varies significantly across different regions. These differences are influenced by factors like housing costs, transportation, and local taxes. Historically, certain regions have always been more expensive due to economic activity and resources. Globalization and technological advancements have shifted economic centers, altering regional cost dynamics. Understanding these regional disparities is crucial for financial planning and economic policy. Economic forecasts project future trends in purchasing power. These forecasts estimate consumers' ability to buy goods and services. Predictions are based on factors like income, inflation, and interest rates. Changes in these factors can significantly impact purchasing power. Businesses and policymakers use these forecasts for planning and decision-making. Budgeting is a fundamental skill for managing personal finances effectively. Effective budgeting involves creating a detailed plan for how you will spend your money. Start by tracking your income and expenses to understand your current financial situation. Categorize your expenses into needs versus wants to identify areas for potential savings. Set realistic financial goals, such as saving for a down payment or paying off debt. Regularly review and adjust your budget to adapt to changing economic conditions and personal circumstances. Investment strategies are designed to preserve and grow wealth over extended periods. A primary goal is to achieve long-term growth by strategically allocating assets. This often involves investing in a diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, and other assets. Long-term strategies typically require patience and a willingness to ride out market fluctuations. Reinvesting dividends and capital gains can significantly enhance long-term returns. Regular portfolio reviews and adjustments are essential to maintain alignment with long-term goals. This section summarizes changes in purchasing power over time. It provides an economic perspective on the fluctuating value of money. Purchasing power reflects the quantity of goods or services one can buy with a unit of currency. Inflation erodes purchasing power, decreasing the amount one can buy. Economic analysis helps understand and address these shifts in monetary value.